All right, we're live. Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome to our amazing What Else is Possible show. I'm your host, Karen Palmer, known as Miss Kindness, and we are here on Spirituality Gone Wild. We are a channel broadcasting to raise the levels of compassion, gratitude, joy, love, kindness, and peace on earth. And I get to bring you the most incredible people who are keeping the legacy of Barbara Marx Hubbard alive and really, really bringing that beautiful energy of love, compassion, and hope for our planet. And I'm so honored. My beautiful friend, Kelly Sullivan Walden, we've been friends for almost 6 years now. It's been, I think I met you in 2014 before I made the wish, before I made the wish for global kindness to go viral. And welcome, Kim. Yeah, please type it in the chat, you guys. Oh my God, you're going to love Dr. Dream. Oh boy, do we have some fun planned for you. And she has these incredible cards, and I drew one for myself, and we're going to go in and do that, but I'm going to also draw one for our group. And so type in the chat where you're watching from, and if you could possibly share this out on your page or share it to your groups or any of your timelines, I'm going to let Kelly share with you a little bit about the work that she does as Dr. Dream. And I want to kind of get a little bit of the backstory of how you became Dr. Dream and all the work that you've been doing with the children, with all the peace that you are helping to bring into the world, and just how it all weaves into the message that Barbara left this planet for us to continue. And so I just love to hear how you weave all of that together.
Oh, wow. I love that word, weave. And I love the song Dream Weaver. I hear that and I'm always like rocking out, like, yeah,
I know, I love that song too.
And I just want to give you a big virtual hug, Karen, for being Miss Kindness and doing all the work that you're doing. You just are nonstop. I mean, I don't know if you ever sleep or have time to dream, because you're just doing so much. I'm just, I don't want to say I'm proud of you, because that sounds like I'd be like your big sister or something, but I feel like I'm just in awe of you. And I'm proud that you are just doing the work that you came here to do, and you're doing it with such gusto and beauty and kindness. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much.
And if I may be so bold, I want to say that I'm sure Barbara, if I could channel her, Barbara Marx Hubbard, she would just be pleased as punch. She would just be so happy that you've taken on the torch and continuing to carry it on. And I know there's others that are too, that are all over the place, because she has inspired so many of us. But I love that we're kind of part of the Barbara sisterhood. And so I just wanted to say that before getting into all the other things. So and just wait, in the spirit of synchronicity, let me just do this. So you and I talked a few days ago about how did it was about something else. And then somehow you brought up Barbara Marx Hubbard. And I was like, I love that woman. Do you know that I got to do the last interview with her, the last media interview before she passed? And then, so that same day, I received a card and a couple of books from my dear friend, Susie Plaxton. And she sent me randomly these books, Barbara Marx Hubbard's Conscious Evolution book, and then the Revelation book, just randomly in the mail. My dear friend Gypsy passed away. So a lot of people have been sending me cards and letters and gifts, but she sent me Barbara, and these are two books that I didn't have. So I just thought, and then she and I haven't talked in 4 months since COVID happened, basically. And today we just spoke, and she, of course, had to talk about Barbara. So I just thought, like, there's just too much like around the Barbara synergy, and you and I, and now Susie Plaxton and these books. So I just had to recognize.
There's really no question about that. Barbara has been working through me since she left her physical body. She has literally led me to certain people and opened the door so that I could actually connect with them. Steve Farrell from Humanities Team. That's why I was hosting for the Global Oneness Week. That's why that was that was a miracle in itself that I was able to be a host for the Global Oneness Day, and you were on my panel.
And I was so honored. Yeah, that was a big deal. That
And
was
yeah, and we talked about we didn't talk about Barbara at that point. So I didn't know that you had the last interview with Barbara, and right about, let's see, it was about March.
last April. No, it was April. It was like April 3rd. I think it was April 3rd. And I think she passed on the 5th.
Yes, April, right. That's
So,
right.
and then the year, actually several months before, I got to be with her in person in New Mexico. My husband filmed Ageless Living, which just won a Telly Award. And Barbara was kind of the central figure of that whole made-for-television program with Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton and Anita Marjani and Eben Alexander and a whole bunch of luminaries. But Barbara was like the centerpiece. And I got to have like a 2-hour interview with her that'll be part of the bonus footage of that. And it was amazing. And she was on fire nonstop. She was just... My image of her is that she was like this big, beautiful mama cat, and all of these little kittens, we were all like nestled into her, and she was inspiring us all. And it was so playful. And so it was like the combination of being like child energy and elder energy and visionary and so present, all of that, all at the same time. It was like so contagious. And she was 90 at the time.
I know, it was crazy.
I'm like, oh my God. And she's talking about what she wants to do next and the next frontier. And I'm like, I want to be you when I grow up. Anyway, she was quite the inspiration. Quite the inspiration. So dreams, you've been having some dreams about her?
Yes, absolutely. But first I want to toot your horn, because you're not tooting your own horn. And
I'll toot. I can toot. But go ahead.
I just want to toot your horn because I want to let people know that Kelly is a certified clinical hypnotherapist whose unique approach to dream therapy led her to become a trusted advisor, coach, and consultant, enriching the lives of thousands of individuals, including Fortune 500 executives, UN ambassadors, celebrities, entrepreneurs, inner city kids, and stay-at-home moms. And I'm just like so amazed at all the work that you're doing in the world, and just wanted to toot your horn because I wanted to make sure that your horn got tooted. because we're doing this for Barbara, but I also want to have every person who comes on here, and that's why I've put your website in here. So check out KellySullivanWalden.com. Yes, you guys, I know we're going to have time to ask her questions. We're going to have time to have a little bit of a Q&A, and we're also going to check out the hero's journey. We're going to get to see these dream oracle cards, and I highly recommend you go to her website and sign up for her snooze. I just think it's so fun. It's so fun what she's got. She's got so many wonderful things on her website that you can just check out and sign up for free. And then there's also amazing books, meditations, services that she offers. So let's get into that a little bit. Hi, Valentina. Namaste. Wonderful to see you too. Where are you watching from? Type in the chat where you're watching from. We have a global family here, Kelly. This is Spirituality Gone Wild, and we're celebrating our 3rd anniversary on Lionsgate on August 8th. And
that's my birthday.
Yay! Lionsgate is your birthday? That's so freaking cool. That's, it's one of the most powerful days of the year, for the influx of light.
And that's your birthday too for this. That's your anniversary.
That's our anniversary. We started in 2016. My partner and I, she's known as Debbie Gratitude. I'm known as Karen Kindness.
That's great.
And we've been kind of like peanut butter and jelly, kind of, going together. She's an incredible graphic designer and does all the promotion stuff for us. And I am a networker, so I do a lot of the media and the marketing. So we together are a really good team. And yeah, so anyway, that's kind of that's just a little tidbit. But yes, I have had dreams since I started. Well, first of all, I was guided to see a video of Barbara Marx Hubbard with David Gershon. I didn't really know David Gershon at the time. I didn't know anything about him. I've always loved Barbara Marx Hubbard. I've always felt a real kinship with her. And when she left her physical body, I started having dreams with her visiting and letting me know that she was going to be working through me and giving me some assignments and helping me to bring the importance of what she is doing to, synergize with the people that I would need to synergize with. And interestingly enough, I'm the outreach director for Synergized Impact Network Exchange, which is also in memory of Barbara. But the big thing was, she wanted me to bring her information to the children and to take her information. And that's what I do. I take information that's ancient wisdom, really confusing sometimes text, and I simplify it so that a preschooler could understand it. And then I turn it into a song like Weird Al Yankovic. The Weird Al Yankovic of kindness and compassion. And
that's great.
So that's what I felt like this dream. It was like so the first dream was after I saw that interview. So I saw the interview, and then a couple nights later, I had a dream about her, and I felt her like holding my hand and actually walking me through the veil and letting me know that it would be simple and easy for me to come through the veil, and that she would help me with anything that needed to happen on this side. And she would, and that was, like I said, that was right after she left her physical body.
That's incredible. Wow. I mean, that's a very direct dream. No interpretation necessary. I mean, it's like you're walking through the veil to receive her wisdom.
Yes. And so synchronistically, as you said, the next day after I had that dream, and she said, I'm going to be bringing you to the people that we, and I would love for you to I would love for you to start a show for me that would be, and she gave me the title, What Else is Possible? And then I said, okay. And so the next day there was we have the sign meetings, right? So we feature somebody in a sign meeting, and they were featuring David Gershon. And David Gershon was talking about these peace on earth games and how we could have peace on earth by 2030. And when I feel like I used to get like goosebumps, like kind of like call them God bumps, but I would get those. But now what I got was it's like a vibrational shift with my shoulders, almost like pushing me forward toward that person, toward who that person is. And so I just reached out to David out of the blue after that, I saw him in the sign that he was a sign member. So I just reached out to him and Miranda, who was his marketing, specialist, and really just doing so much with the Peace on Earth games. And to my surprise, they both reached back, and we had a meeting, and we all knew that Barbara brought us together, and also that Archangel Michael and Saint Germain are all part of the game. So they're all part of there's the galactic part of the game, and then there's the part of us here on this planet game. And the game has, I'm not sure if you know about David Gershon, but he did the Earth Run in 1987 and went around the world passing a torch of peace.
Oh, wow.
And he's celebrating this year, and that's when we kick off the 2030 the Peace on Earth 2030 by 2030 game. And so so it was incredible. So as that happened, he invited me to be an early adopter of the game, to play the game. And so I
How
joined.
do you play the game?
Okay, so the game is 7 actions that you can take that are scalable social change actions. And by 2030, if we get 40 million people to become dream weavers, dream keepers, I just said dream weavers, but dream keepers, which is the people who go through those 7 acts and then share them with somebody else, we will tip the scales in in that favor of having peace on earth. And he was given the prophecy that we would have 1,000 years of peace on earth. And this was so crazily. After that, I signed up and I joined the game and I played the game, and I was like incredible. It was incredible. It was so wonderful. And then
so you, in playing the game, you took 7 peaceful actions.
Yeah, I'll send the information to you. But
Yeah,
yes.
please.
So yeah, you'll be an awesome player too. But so anyway, we did the game, and I met David, and he felt like Barbara had brought us all together too. And so we started doing a show together here every Monday to teach about the 7 steps and the 7 actions. And now he has a thing called Jedi training for people who are early adopters who want to be ready for the games in September. So anyway, so that all kind of was the synchronistic from that one dream.
Amazing. And the water bottle that I have is Synergy.
Yeah.
Oops, backwards. Anyway, just thought that was a little extra bonus. That is amazing. And I love that it's called a game, that it's not this hard, difficult, grueling sounding thing. It's like this fun, inviting thing to do. That's very clever. I love that.
Super fun. It was super fun and life-changing. And there's a beautiful video. I'll send it to you so you can see it. But when you go to the website, it's peace2030.earth. But I'll email you all the information. I'd love for you to be, be a part of it, to be a peace partner. And we're also going to have PO zones, which are Peace on Earth zones, which are cities that are becoming Peace on Earth zones. And we have several of those already lined up. And like I said, we haven't even rolled this out to the public yet. This is just through beta testers like myself who came in and who have a large network, and we're able to get the word out.
That's amazing. How cool. All right. Talk about living on purpose and using your creative faculties in service of something higher and bigger than yourself, and something. I mean, I love when I think of Barbara, there's so many things about her, but I think about just stepping into the future and stepping outside of, kind of that Einsteinian idea that you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. It's like step into the place of the solution. And also I heard her say this so many times about how when something like when the Hiroshima bomb went off, her asking, so what could be good about this? What could be right about this? And I'm kind of addicted to that. Now, some people attribute that to me, but I have to pass that on to that. I got that from Barbara. It's become such a pillar in my reality, that constant asking. And it's part of what I do on the level of dreams. I think sometimes it's easier for people to suspend their disbelief regarding dreams. And then if you can practice that on the level of dreams, it's easier to practice that in your waking life with the difficult things that are happening. Should I give an example?
Yes, that's great.
Well, it seems like, I don't know. I mean, there's so many things going on right now, COVID and our quarantine and Black Lives Matter and all the things that are kind of going, quote unquote, falling apart. And in our world. If Barbara was here, I think she would say, wow, look at the opportunity, look at the opportunities for growth. And for people that think that's kind of a Pollyanna thing to say and do, I think that there's a lot of science behind the value in looking for what could be good in this, and even quantum physics, and even some of the newer epigenetics, being able to look for these things, how that affects our cells, that affects our genes, it affects our ability to actually manifest according to something good is happening here. And for those who have a harder time with that, I think we can, like if you have a nightmare, because I mostly I've kind of specialized, and I do still sort of specialize in nightmares, because most people don't seek somebody like me out if they're just having a lot of really happy dreams. Usually they just keep those to themselves, or they share them with their friends, but they don't usually pay to see a therapist for happy dreams. So I've been privy to a lot of nightmares in my day, maybe more than most. I would say definitely more than most. And I can't help but always see the blessing in the nightmares, and see that our nightmares are unsung allies that are just misunderstood. And if we understood them, we would transform more quickly. There would be quantum evolution if we really looked at what is right about this. How is this nightmare trying to evolve me? So some people, I think, can see it a little more easily in a nightmare, because the reality in a dream or a nightmare is more flimsy. And so we can kind of play make-believe. Like if I was powerful in the nightmare, I might turn, for example, I always reference this one nightmare I had where I was being chased by a Cyclops lumberjack albino through the woods, like,
oh my gosh.
yeah. And I was like hiding. I ducked into a cabin, and I was hiding under a wooden table, and I'm like, ah! And I remembered in the dream, oh my God, I'm supposed to ask what the blessing of this is. Oh my God, there couldn't possibly be one. But I was like, how are you trying to help me? As I say in a shaky voice, as he's like right there, he sees me under this little flimsy table, and he's got a hatchet.
Oh my gosh.
And he says, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm your protector. I'm trying to save you.
Ooh.
And I was like, from what? And then all of a sudden I noticed there was this energy that had been around me that I couldn't really detect before, that was not so positive. And all of his hacking was trying to cut that energy away from me. He wasn't trying to cut me. So by engaging in that dream, I turned this foe into a really powerful ally that is now kind of a part of my team. So I'm not running from him anymore, because I believe everybody that comes to us in our dreams is an aspect of our power, and if they're chasing us, they probably have a blessing to give us, though it may be in disguise, like with this guy, for example. But once we embrace them and create some alchemy by paying attention to what is the gift here, the gift pops out pretty quickly, and then the dream can change, and then we don't have to keep running from that character. So it's like that across the board. And I've heard every kind of nightmare you've ever imagined, and it's never not worked. If the dreamer is open, there is always that kind of a strange miracle where the drama stops and it becomes a completely different dream where you're empowered at the end of it. So sometimes it's easier to practice on dreams, and then it's hard then to not use that same alchemy ability in our waking life.
That's so cool, because that's the card that I got when I was doing the hero's journey too. So that is it really reads into what you, and plus this is one of my absolute favorite quotes of Rumi, that is, this being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. The dark thoughts, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. So that's like really synchronistic that I got that card before I even knew you were going to tell that dream. So the message is an unpleasant dream, as well as any challenging experiences, shows you precisely where to shine a light to become more awake. Powerful, this is the powerful version of yourself. These dreams show you where you are out of balance or letting your ego get the best of you. Even though it is counterintuitive, turn toward the thing that grabs you by the collar, because they are trying to give you an important message. Turn your nightmares into rightmares by asking how they are trying to help you. Then imagine yourself becoming powerful in the dream. Exaggerate this vision until you feel a shift in perspective. Doing this makes you wiser, more compassionate, and resourceful than before. You can greet the unpleasant aspects of your life at the door, laughing, for you know they come bearing gifts. Wow. Beautiful card, too. Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, that's Rasuli.
X marks the spot. I know, I did the class with you and him. It was amazing. Then I bought the cards, and
thank you.
I use the cards all the time. I love them, absolutely love them. Highly, highly recommend them. Again, go to kellysullivanwalden.com and you can have your own beautiful deck and your own guide. It's a guide. It really is. I mean, I just grabbed this. I thought, I'm just going to see which card ends up coming through. But that's every time. Every time it's just the one that I was needing to hear. And what a beautiful confirmation. Like the angels always say, us humans love confirmation, but we also like to complicate things.
It's so true. It's so interesting.
I'm not going to complicate that. I'm just going to say, whoa, wow, right. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, confirmation. Thank you, angels. Thank you, hero's journey. Thank you. Oh, God, I love him so much too. Joseph Campbell.
I think Joseph Campbell and Barbara Marx Hubbard are having some fun with Rumi.
There.
Yeah, they're all having a blast.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think of all the things I've created, and I love all the books that I've written and the other oracle decks. I think the hero's journey seems to reach people. I think it appeals to men and women equally.
Yeah.
And because we're always on a hero's journey, and
absolutely,
it does seem to elevate. There does seem to be kind of a kooky, freaky magic to those cards. I normally I create something and then I move on to the next thing and I'm focused on the next thing I'm creating. But these cards, Dana, my husband, and I, every morning we pull a card each, and it becomes our meditation, and it's kind of spooky how it works. And I'm excited. The app version of the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle is going to be coming out in about a month or so. So
that's so
people
cool.
Who like apps, it'll be my first app.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
That's super exciting. That is
notion of meeting them at the door laughing. Oh man. I love that quote, this being human is the guest house. That is so powerful. And I think there's something evolutionary. I mean, if this is like spirituality gone wild, there's something like a lot of the people I'm imagining that would be drawn to this show are people that are, as Debbie Ford, the late great Debbie Ford would say, would be light chasers, people that are into the light and love. And it seems like a lot of the light and love folks have some nightmares or have some things. It's like the dark side of light chasers. And I think we need to have a strategy for what to do when those things come up, so that we're not just ignoring them. We're not pouring pink paint over them. We're not pretending that the difficulties aren't there, but we have a strategy for alchemy that's quick, where we can really look at it and bring our attention inside of it and watch it shift from within. And then we can be relatively, if not completely, fearless
Yeah.
then we have more bandwidth to truly appreciate that which is incredible and exquisite and beautiful without feeling afraid that the other shoe is going to drop.
Yeah.
Because even if the other shoe drops, we'd say, oh, isn't this interesting? Okay, let's find the beauty in that shoe dropping. What else is that? And then it's like, there's just glory to greater glory to greater glory. There's not, oh no, I shouldn't have opened my heart that big. And now now I'm just going to be safe and I'm going to close down. So that never happened. We don't have to, we can completely be done with that cycle. And we can just progressively open more and more and watch things happen that would not be on the top of our list, but we look at them anyway and be curious about them and dive into them. And I think Barbara would agree, like there's evolution that is
Evolution
quantum,
happening for
that
sure.
moves. Like we can
Yeah.
become the not die daily version of ourselves, but the be born daily butterfly version of ourselves on a daily basis. And I think there's nothing that can stop us there. Then what are we capable of?
Right.
What's possible?
What else is possible? Yeah, in her book, Emergence, she teaches us how to go from ego to essence. And I've just done it now. This is my third time going through the book again, because each time that I do through the book, I learn more about parts of myself that my little local selves, that the beloved I can bring to. So, we have this beautiful experience that, and I can't talk about this stuff in the schools to the children, but I can do it with science. So what I do is I take the spiritual part and I bring it into the science of it, and then the children get to do inner journeys, and then we go through our feelings and we do what's called rain, and we rain through we go through and we rain through the emotion, whatever emotion is that's coming up. So we recognize, it's the acronym RAIN is for recognize, acknowledge, investigate, and then nurture. And so we go through a whole process.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And then when they go through their inner journey, they sift and they go through their sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts, so that we create a container and a sanctuary in their classroom, so that they feel. That's what the kindness programs are that I design and have written in curriculum. And I have an app coming out too. That's on fantastic. Kokori, we have I have a program that I teach. Kindness changes everything. And so what I've been, it's beautiful, because what if we could just teach this to children, and then they don't have to go back and do inner child work?
Wouldn't that be amazing if they could just keep growing and glowing and
not making their emotions wrong,
not making them wrong, not stifling them, but also not taking them for a ride because they've bottled up and they become explosive and then they're out of their control. To be able to just let it rain through and then sift through with curiosity. What a beautiful and important thing at this moment. Personally, as I look out at the world and look at the people I know that are suffering personally the most, it seems to be a result of not having an empowered relationship with emotions, either suppressing them and then they explode, or just indulging in them, overindulging, or it's like this back and forth. And to be able to have that, I love those acronyms. I'm an acronym queen myself, so
I am too.
I recognize you.
Yes. I start with the kids. I start with the kids. Patricia, I just put the app in there. It's kokoriapp.com. And that's the app that I'm going to be. It's all experiential education. So there's all kinds of different things for teachers, parents, counselors. We're bringing it to summer camps and all kinds of. And I'm helping them with. Helping them with their PR. So, and anything, you can go and you can check out. They have a Kickstarter happening and they're doing wonderful, wonderful work. But so I have the acronym STOP, right? So as soon as you feel yourself stepping away from the beloved, stepping away from your true self, and you're, just bring your hands to your heart. So that's heart math. The heart math is amazing. But just bring your hands to your heart and say, stop. Self, take over, please. And then
That's
wait,
great.
what am I thinking? And then hope, having only positive expectations. So that's what I teach the kids to,
Mm.
when you feel yourself not being the best possible version of yourself, because you can't say, spirit take over, you can't say any of the word, higher self or, true self or any of those words in school. But it's okay, because what we've done is I have taken those words, it's all ages, Patricia, all different ages. So it's pretty much any, any school age child, probably elementary school, I would say, is the age group that it would be. But yeah, so, helping children to really feel empowered so that when they grow up, they feel, first of all, not only when they grow up, but while they're growing up, while they're going through. So my program starts in, I have a program that goes from kindergarten all the way to high school, and then has the high school kids come back and be mentors to the little ones. And it's all about kindness, compassion, environmental education, animal advocacy, and peace education. So it's all combined. And like I said, I design these musical coloring books that are educational, that go with the 17 sustainable goals. So it's fun, it's educational, and they're also learning how to help our world. So like I said, these things, like what you're talking about, what Rumi says, to be able to embrace our emotions and to feel safe to express ourselves. I feel like that's one of the biggest things that adults don't know how. They say they get to a certain point and they say, well, that's just how I feel, and then that's it. That's just how I feel. And so I'm being truthful with my feelings. Okay, you're being truthful with your feelings, but you need to process that feeling. You can't just say, okay, I'm just out of here. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't love you anymore. I don't want to see you anymore. I don't want to hear from you anymore. That is like what a lot of adults are doing. And so, they don't know. What would you say to somebody who is going through that, that is in that position? Has gotten to the point where you already know, I have a list of people.
I have a list. Exactly. Let me eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think, let me see, there's so much. And by the way, your program is so synergistic with the one that I created, the Dream Project, that works with the UN, the United Nations goals. And so I love and interactive. I mean, so we're like sisters from another mister.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. But I think there's so many things I could say. In my mind, actually, I started this game. I love the notion of a game, by the way,
Everything's a game.
called the Undisturbability Game. And I started this with just a handful of friends, and then they've gone on and they've kind of done it with other people. And we take it, so it's got to be a group of people that are committed to being undisturbable, or more accurately, committed to not acting out on that disturbability.
Right.
So every day that you don't act out on your disturbability, that you take care of your feelings in a mature, responsible way, you get a letter of the alphabet. So you go from A to Z, and whoever gets to Z first wins the prize. It could be you take them out to Starbucks, not anymore because we don't go out to Starbucks anymore, or there's some little, everybody sends them $1, or there's some little perk that the person gets who gets to Z first. So it becomes kind of like the spirit of competition, but it's like, I'm not going to lose my letter today. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to go for a walk. So for me, when I started playing this, I thought it would be a breeze. And the idea came to me. I heard Reverend Michael Beckwith talking at Agape, and he was saying something about the nature of disturbability. And I loved this. It really hit me like bling right across the head. And what he said was, when something happens and we get disturbed. So let me back up. naturally, our natural state is connected to spirit, connected to everyone, and we're naturally harmonious, naturally balanced. But then something happens that ruptures that like triggers our pain, and that either has us want to act out, want to stop the thing from happening, or we want to fix it or correct it or change it or defend against something. It's like there's some acting out that it's like a knee jerk that happens, and emphasis on the jerk, because we tend to be kind of like a jerk when we're acting out. So he said the moment that there's that wanting to act out, if we can become aware, I'm doing that thing, I'm acting out, if we could pause ourselves just for a moment, not to suppress it, not to clamp it down, but to just become aware, oh, I'm acting out, that means by definition, I've lost my connection. Because if I was fully connected, there could be all manner of things happening in front of me, and I would be fine. Like Byron Katie says, when they attack you and you notice that you're loving them with your whole heart, your work is done. So if I was fully connected, somebody could say, Kelly, you're a jerk. Kelly, I'm going to unfriend you on Facebook. Kelly, you are a lib, whatever they would say. And I'd be like, and I love you with my whole heart because I'm connected. But if I'm inspired to act out and to stop you or correct you or fix you or whatever, that means I've lost my connection. So instead of acting out, my training for myself is to turn within and readjust my inner umbilical cord. Because that's the only thing I have any power over, is my conscious connection or not. So if I get myself connected, and from that connected place, I feel inspired and moved to say something or do something, then I will, because I feel like I can trust that that's coming from a clean place. But if I'm connected and I am not moved, then I'm just going to let it go by. And 99.9% of the things that I might have acted on are not worthy of it. They correct themselves without me having to do anything. Or I realize it had nothing to do with me. Or I would have just gotten in and made it worse under the guise of trying to fix it or clean it up or defend it. So it doesn't mean be passive. It doesn't mean don't be proactive. It simply means, for me, don't act from a disturbed place, act from an aligned, connected place. And from there, I might be moved to scream. I might be moved to set something on fire. I might be moved to protest. I might be moved to do anything. But if I'm connected, I can trust it. Otherwise, I can't. So playing that game has been eye-opening to me, because honestly, I didn't think I had much of a learning curve. I thought that I was already like on a scale of 1 to 10, like maybe an 8, maybe a 7.5. Oh no, I was like maybe a 2, maybe a 3 max. And my relationship with my husband's really the litmus test, because after me playing this for several months, I noticed that he started to change. I noticed how much softer in his heart he got. And I noticed how much more intimate and how much more juicy our relationship was. And I realized later, oh my God, he trusts me. I'm a safer place than I was before. He can really reveal himself without wondering when the other shoe is going to drop from my end. Holy Lord, I didn't have to go after him and say, why aren't you closer to me? Why do you want to spend more time with me? It's like, adjust the inner umbilical cord and watch the ripple effect happen. It's a lot less effortful. So that's a long answer to a short question, but that's
but I love that. And I love that. And I think it's always the answer. It's always the answer. Whatever is happening outside, go within, because whatever is happening outside is just a mirror. It's just a mirror. And whatever it gives us our power back when we look at where am I disconnected from my, beloved true self, and where am I feeling the disconnect, and then seeing the disconnect out in my world.
Wow. I feel like you just hit on, I think, one of the biggest words, and that's that it's the empowered word. It's like I think there's a perspective when we look out at the world. I know I can certainly go there and feel powerless to change the state of of the election, or of, I mean, besides voting or whatever. It's like there's so many things that
feel out of
feel
control,
so big. But there's my every year I have a mantra. I have like a little word or phrase that becomes like my repetitive touchstone. And this year it's the narrow of my marrow. I just want to stay in the narrow of my marrow, or the narrow of the marrow, meaning like, what is mine to do? What is even if out of the whole puzzle of life, there's just this one little piece, or out of the pie of life, there's this teeny, teeny little sliver that is got my name on it.
Yeah.
And that's all mine. So I'm going to live there and rock that little sliver, that narrow of the marrow that is mine to do. And from that place, I don't ever need to have one moment of feeling powerless.
Yeah.
And then, because the powerlessness is its own weird drug.
Right.
Because powerlessness creates, in a weird way, there's like a dopamine hit when we feel enraged about feeling powerless, and then wanting to be destructive along with it. It's like, oh, wait a minute, now I'm part of the problem because I'm hanging out in the part that maybe isn't mine to do. Maybe I'm like, the first time I went to the UN, when I got the download to do my school program, the Dream Project, I was there having this incredible crisis of feeling powerless, because I'm looking at all these people that are from different nations and different spokespeople or different NGO representatives and really smart scientists and politicians. And I'm like, I am none of those things. What the hell am I doing here? Like, I need to go.
That's
I'm sitting
ego.
in the General Assembly. Right. But I was feeling like overwhelmed. And so I sat there anyway, and I said, okay, what is my part? Do I have a part? And if so, what is my part? Even if it's teeny tiny, one little drop, let me just let me just pray on what is that, so that I can just do that and not be so stressed out and nervous about all that I can't do. And that was when I got hit by lightning. Okay, Kelly, what you do have is, as a hypnotherapist, you help people connect with their subconscious mind, with their dreaming mind, which is a place where their solutions reside. Okay, that's a clue. You're really good at working with kids. That's a clue. And you're good at bringing out the kid in adults. Okay, that's a clue. Okay, you're good at writing. You can write. So I got this whole download for a curriculum that I would pilot in an inner city school, that was a way of connecting through the imagination, going into the future, and having kids go outside of today, going into the future, and envisioning what it would take to heal, fix, bring kindness, love, balance, peace to the world, but see the role that they played in the future, bring it back to now. Anyway, that was and then bring in the hero's journey.
Yeah.
So those were the two pillars. Anyway, that was like, that changed my life, and that became so much of what I did. And I'm not actively doing it today. I've trained a bunch of teachers and teacher trainers and there's like 11 schools in the inner city of Los Angeles that have been doing it for years now, and they don't need me. I've worked my way out of a job unless somebody asks me to come speak or whatever, that I do it. But it's been like an amazing thing to me, it's just like, get into that place where there is something I can do, even if it's tiny. So let me just do that and stop whining.
Yeah.
So.
That's so beautiful. And, yes, thank you, Julie, for saying that was great advice. Great advice.
And our little part could simply be being kind today. It could be like, okay, I'm going to call this person who's having a rough time, or I'm going to send them a text, or I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy an extra something for my neighbor, or like, it could be so not on a global scale, but it could have global ramifications. And here's one other piece that I love, the whole notion that what if, and this is like a meditation that I do sometimes, like what if.
Oh, let's do that. Let's do it.
Well, okay. Okay. So
love that.
So we can close our eyes for just a moment if you want to, and just imagine that as you're breathing and releasing all shoulds and all anything that would take you out of the narrow of your marrow, and just take a breath in and just be willing to find that sweet spot, that calm in the midst of the storm, that sweet narrow of the marrow, that really juicy place where we're just at home, sweet home with ourselves, where we're always connected to source, always plugged in, never not that way. Even if we think we're disconnected, we never are. We really are always plugged in. Sometimes we're more aware of it than other times. But here, from this place, we can ask the question, what is the act? What is the something that I could do from a place of what is my job to do? If I was fully plugged into my umbilical cord to connect me with spirit, with source, with God, with the universe, today, what is my thing to do? And it might be X, just allow whatever that is to be, but know that even if it's as small as sending a text or even sending a prayer, imagine in your meditation right now that the ramifications of this tiny act, imagine that it's multiplied by 1,000,000, the energy of 1,000,000. So even if it's just one kind word, imagine that it is magnified 1,000,000 times. It's 1,000,000 kind words to 1,000,000 people. If it's a prayer to one person, imagine that it's 1,000,000 prayers to 1,000,000 people. So all you have to do is the one thing. But because our life here is a dream, and our dream is a hall of mirrors, everything we do is exponential, is a ripple in the pond that has seismic effect and that ripples out 1,000,000 times. So playing the game, going online, even if you're watching or listening to something just for you to feel better, for you to lift your own spirits, imagine that multiplied by 1,000,000. So as we breathe, let's just know that these simple things that we do by being in the narrow of our marrow and by following the guidance that comes from that place without second guessing it, without putting any pressure on ourselves, keeping in the spirit of it's a game and we're kids in a sandbox. And we're just here to have a good time in the name of peace and love. What we do to each other, we do to ourselves. So of course, we want it to be kind and loving and harmonious. It isn't so selfless in the long run. It's the most selfish thing we could do is to be so kind to each other, because it all comes back instantly. And as it comes back and we get good at this cycle just continues to whip around and become juicier and juicier. And as Abraham says, the better it gets, the better it gets. And it just keeps uplifting from here. Yeah. So let's just multiply that by 1,000,000. And I just say thank you so much, Karen, for indulging me and allowing me to play with you here in your beautiful,
I love the
wild community.
I love the sandbox.
Spirituality gone wild.
Yes. And we're celebrating. I would love to have you come back for our celebration week too. So, and it'll be your birthday. So I know you'll probably be very,
yeah. I could do something. Why not? It'll be I'll be in birthday mode.
Oh, that would be so awesome. Yeah, even if you just popped in and said happy anniversary and I'm celebrating my birthday and just we're actually going to do an incredible we're doing an incredible mystic virtual mixer, and that's going to be on the 8th, and that's going to be a 5-hour variety show of speed dating with spiritual entrepreneurs.
I love it. Oh my God. That was just in my mind. My dreaming mind imagined everything. So
It's called
literally.
the Rainbow Connection, and it's the Rainbow Connection Infinite Collaboration. Music, comedy, skits. We're going to do skits with compassionate communication. And we're going to do all kinds of fun, wonderful. We have an amazing MC. Yes, speed connecting, fun. Yes, Janice is here. Yes, Janice Kaplan. She's one of our, yes, we will be sending out all the information to everybody very soon. But yes, I'm excited. Kelly says she'll maybe be able to be.
I know. I will. How could I say no? I feel like it's like what Barbara Marx Hubbard would say. This is like all within the realm of vocational arousal.
It's so perfect.
Yeah,
It's just so perfect. It's just so perfect. And yes, Charles, my chanting family member, we chant. We're on day 51. We've been chanting we're chanting for peace on earth. We chant with Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, and we remove anything that is not love and light. And then we chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo to help people to awaken to their true self. And Kelly, come on in and chant with us some night. We do it every night at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And we have a beautiful group on Facebook called Chanting for Change. So if you would like to join us, we have all kinds of, there's science and neuroscience to the benefits of chanting. So we've been doing that also. And it's on Enlightened World Network that we do that through.
I just put some Elmer's glue on me and like put me on your arm, and I'll just go virtually wherever you go. So
it'd be so fun. We could definitely have a lot of fun in a sandbox, that's for sure.
Some castles or some mud pies.
I love making sand castles. Those were one of my favorite things to do as a child was making sand castles. I think it's a wonderful thing for, and I loved that beautiful inner journey. Thank you so much. And I would love to, after the show, I'd like to talk to you further about your dream project and see if we can bring it here to my area, Solvang.
Oh, I'd love to. You live in Solvang?
I do, yeah.
Oh, I love Solvang.
Little Danish Disneyland. I'm the kindness and compassion ambassador for Solvang.
I immediately, my mouth waters. I immediately feel like I'm eating a strudel. Yeah. Oh, a hot strudel.
Yeah, I call it Danish Disneyland, but it's been amazing. It's been wonderful. The community has really come together during the COVID experience, and we have incredible people that are going grocery shopping, volunteering for seniors. We have a whole list of we sign up, and then the grocery store, the senior can call in and say what they need, and then they go down our list of people, and then they call us and say, are you able to go get so and so? And so we have it's just like it's a version of what's possible when we have these prototypes, and we have these possibilities. That's why this show is happening. It's why it's evolving into what it's evolving into. It's why you and I had the conversation, and I had no idea that you had that last interview. And I posted that on all of our platforms too, that interview that you did with Barbara Marx Hubbard. And before we close out, tell people how they can follow you and watch your show. I know you have it on Unity.
Yes.
Yeah, radio. Yeah.
It's on my website is kellysullivanwalden.com.
Yep, that's right up there on the. It's right. It's been passed through the. Yeah. So
beautiful.
That's kind
and
of
the easy way to get there is through IHadTheStrangestDream.com, and my show Ask Dr. Dream is available on all podcast platforms like Apple iTunes and Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts. So just put in Ask Dr. Dream. And if you want to hear the show live, go to unity.fm or Unity Online Radio, and it's the Ask Dr. Dream show. And at the moment, I'm We're in the beta stage. We're going to launch officially, but people can take advantage of this now if they want to. Go to my website. I had thestrangestdream.com or kellysullivanwalden.com. And you can get these 21, it's part of a 21-day snooze meditation challenge. So you get 21 free meditations that you listen to at bedtime. And I've partnered with Snooze Tea. It's part of Performance Tea's line of healthy tea that uses cannabis and a lot of other plant-based material. Would that be what it's? I don't know, but it's really delicious and powerful. A lot of people during this time are having a hard time sleeping and dreaming because there's so much stress going on. So we thought this would be a service we would provide. I'm offering the meditations. They're offering a steep discount on the tea. If you buy it in conjunction with the meditations, you end up getting like, I don't know, 10 or 20% off. Plus you get all the meditations for free, which would ordinarily be over $100. So I'd say probably for the next month, we're going to offer it for free. So you can get that at kellysullivanwalden.com. And it's the Snooze meditation program. It's right there in the middle of the page.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. So yeah, we're very grateful for you spending the time with us, Kelly. And I would love to have you come back like once a month, if that's possible.
Absolutely.
For, what else is possible?
I say how high. Anything's possible. And
that's what everybody says when we ask that question. We answer that question.
Instead of the Bopsy twins, it's the Barbara twins. Like we're Barbara's girls.
Well, I got the hashtag Barbara forever. So I use that with the show. And the show, like I said, she gave me the title, What Else is Possible? And joining genius.
Yeah.
Joining that's what we did.
Genius instead of just genes. Oh, it's
super
so
sexy.
Super sexy. It is.
I know. She's amazing.
Antidote. And I feel like we need to dive into that even deeper, because that could be the next thing.
Yeah. So definitely let's plan to do at least once a month where we can have you back on here. And I will also send everybody the information about coming to the Rainbow Connection Infinite Collaboration. It's a variety show. We're going to be bringing out so much fun stuff for you. And it's going to be, like I said, speed dating for spiritual entrepreneurs, so that we can really have some collaboration and cross promotion. And I will be teaching classes in that also. So we'll have breakout rooms where people can break out and have connection with the experts in social media, experts in marketing, and I call myself an angelic marketing strategist. So I help people a lot of people who are, spiritual entrepreneurs and are learning how to find their authentic voice so that they can share it globally. Because after I learned how to do that, and I just want to say, Kelly was one of my mentors. So Kelly was one of the first people that I met before I made the wish, before I had the vision for Global Kindness to go viral. And and then she invited me. I asked her to be in my book, The Secret to Puppy Love. And we were able to share about Claire and that beautiful dream that she had of the bridge. Remember in that?
Oh my God. Yeah.
So now she's on the other side also. And I feel her guiding things through also.
Oh my God.
I call them the Council of Kindness. My Council of Kindness. There's like so many that have been guiding me through this journey that I just, like I said, I just pull the veil aside and they're all right there,
Right there. Yeah. Oh, I can just see Claire. Claire was kind and she was ruthless in terms of like, don't waste your life and don't waste a breath and use the time you've got, because we all just have this breath. Yeah. So I think about her and it just gives me this like, all right, let's do this.
I know she was such an inspiration, and still is a beautiful inspiration. Another one that I really would like to get to know their family so that we can keep her legacy alive too.
Yeah. Her family is amazing, and their work at Claire's Place Foundation is amazing. And
would you put me in contact, maybe a virtual connection
yes,
with them? Because I would love to have them on the show.
yes,
And
Melissa, her mom is like
amazing.
tireless and is keeping the torch, Claire's torch, alive. And they've, oh my God, and there's a documentary on Claire. I don't know. Did you know that they did a
I didn't see the documentary, but where is that? Is that on Netflix?
feature film? So there's a feature film that they did that was inspired by Claire called 5 Feet Apart or 6 Feet Apart. Either 5 feet apart,
Yes,
6
that
feet apart.
movie. I saw that.
Really
movie.
interesting because now with COVID, we're all supposed to be 6 feet apart. 5 Feet Apart was inspired by Claire. It's about a young girl with cystic fibrosis in the hospital. So it's not exactly her story, but like the actress is about as close as it could get to Claire as any human could. And then there's a documentary called Clarity that is more about it's actually, you know,
Her
a
life
big
story.
slice of her life and her legacy and her message. And it won several awards. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. So I will put you in touch after this with Melissa, her mom, and they do all kinds of fundraisers every year. They do all kinds of things. Megan Trainor is now a spokesperson for Clarity.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Claire has always attracted the biggest celebrities. Oh my God, Joe Montana. What's Sofia Vergara's husband? Joe, what's his name? I don't even know. Anyway, so many like, wow, you know.
Clarity, though. Okay, I'm going to look for that for sure. I'd love to see
Clarity, the documentary, probably that would be.
Yeah. And I remember that film. I saw that film. I remember I didn't know it was based on her, but it makes sense that it would be based.
And the character is, they totally based it on Claire.
Yeah.
And she's so like, just so clever, so inspiring, as are you.
Thank you. And as are you. We can see each other's magnificence, right? When we're connected, we can share that love and light. And it's not even, it just flows. It's just being in the flow. And I can see, it's like namaste, you know, I see the kindness in you and you see the kindness in me. I have a little song that the kids do every morning to start the day with namaste.
That's great. Start the day with namaste.
Start the day with namaste. And they learn, and, you know, cause they learned how to, and then I have the golden rule song, which is, the message is the same, though the words we speak may differ. The message is the same. Take a walk in another's shoes. See yourself in other faces. Just imagine trading places. The golden rule's the same, the whole world through. So that's how I teach about namaste.
So beautiful.
Is, you know, in other countries and other cultures, that's how people greet. And so that's how I start talking about how we can be more kind to each other. And then we do the visualization, we do the inner journey of what would it look like? What would our world look like if everyone were greeting each other with kindness? And that's a vision that I have with this COVID. People can't shake hands. So I teach everybody. I've got everybody doing namaste.
It's a great,
and
wonderful.
You know, and when the kids hear, you know, it's, I see the kindness in you and you see the kindness in me and I believe in you and you believe in me. And, you know, that's the way that we can start our day. Namaste. Start our day with namaste.
And end our day with namaste.
And end our day with namaste. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So we have so many fun things to play in. I think our sandbox is going to be getting some new toys coming in.
Exactly.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Julie. Kiss. Everybody's saying thank you so much. Love you guys. This has been so fun. Thank you. Yes, go get your free gift over at KellySullivanWalden.com. And please, grab your hero's journey. And I'm going to grab a card for us real quick.
Great.
So I'm going to grab a card for all of us who are here right now and anybody who watches this on the live stream replay. So, you know, this is, become the elixir.
Awesome. Oh, wow. That's the card my husband pulled this morning.
Become the elixir. Let your glow do the heavy lifting. Let your glow do the heavy lifting. Oh my God, I love that so much. So let's see, we've got the wonderful elixir of light is the thing that actually connects the immaterial to the material. That connects the cosmic to the plain everyday existence that we try to live in. You have had a life-altering experience by watching this show. You had a life-altering experience. You have learned libraries worth of knowledge, definitely. See, that what a perfect card for us. And are now incalculable, wealthy, spiritually and otherwise. It probably feels selfish to keep all this life-affirming wisdom to yourself. If you could, though, through osmosis, you could transmit the contents of your journey, every experience, trial, and reward to every person that you meet. And yet, if you share when uninvited, your gifts will fall upon deaf ears. Boy, I've known that. Honor the wisdom you've earned and learned while honoring the people in the circle of your life by remembering that they too are elixir. Without having to say a word or do a single thing, you are medicine. Blessing and your presence that soothes all hearts, minds, and souls just by meeting them. You are so steeped in the elixir that you do the work simply by being, beaming, and showing up. Wow. What a beautiful, another confirmation. Just showing up. That's what the angels told me. Just show up and smile.
Just show up.
Just show up and smile.
Let your glow do the heavy lifting. Just show up.
Let your glow do the heavy lifting. I love it.
Yeah.
This is so awesome. So everyone who's watching this, that was your message. You attracted that message. That was your message. And you are hearing this message because you are shining so bright and you are elixir. So let your beautiful light do the heavy lifting and keep shining. That's my hashtag, keep shining. We have that. I have that registered hashtag and love and light, and they get used over 2 million times a day, those hashtags, love and light and keep shining. So keep shining and get your love and light out there in the world. And really, you guys, thank you so much for spending this time with Kelly and I. And I'm excited that she has agreed to come back next month. Yes. Oh, the deck. Oh, what you must have came in a little bit late. It's the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle cards. And you can go to kellysullivanwalden.com. And she's got an awesome course that goes with that. That's really fun. And I think it's again, life-changing. It was amazing for me. Perfect time, always divine timing. Everything is divine timing with Kelly. She's just magic elixir.
Right back at you.
Yes, it's a mirror. It's a mirror thing. So thanks everybody so much. And remember, it's growing and growing the more we speak. Kindness, compassion, it's at its peak. I challenge you. You challenge me. We are a global family. There's unity in all we seek. So spread this wide and find a way. Do something kind every day. Bye, guys. Remember to ask yourself in every moment, what else is possible? Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you so much.